What up, what up, what up? Hey guys, welcome to Monday, 8:30 Conversations with Teresa. I am so excited that you guys are here. And like I said, I'm always really excited just because of, I feel like the message that I have to deliver, but also the response that I get from all of you, again, whether it's online or whether I see you in person or on the street or whatever. I am super encouraged by the fact that I can say what I need to say and you receive it in such a great way. So yeah, I'm just excited about that. So, and I'm really hoping that tell your friends. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. Do whatever you have to do, because I really do want the message of women in this stage of life. It's an incredible journey, but it can be a lonely journey. It can be a confusing journey if we don't have the community. And so I just really want to encourage you to, yes, invite your friends and family, coworkers, whoever it is, listen up. All right. So tonight, I am, I don't know, a little off script. I don't always have a script, but sometimes I do. Tonight, I just wanted to talk to you about May. This month of May, or I guess now last month of May, was incredibly bananas. There was so much that was going on. I was scheduled to be a TEDx speaker. Our son got married. Put on a women's conference with some amazing friends of mine. And then my sister-in-law got married back to back every weekend. Wow. And so all I can say is I had every intention of sleeping in June because May it wasn't going to happen. But tonight, what I wanted to talk to you about is what happened during that time, during like the lead up to that, because sometimes we can think that, okay, if Teresa's up here talking about it, she's got everything all down and everything. It's like, no. I need you guys to understand that the reason why I keep coming on, I think one of the passions of why I keep coming on is because I'm still going through this. I'm still going through this perimenopause, this midlife, this, host of emotions and awarenesses and experiences. And I don't want anyone to go through it alone. I don't want anyone to experience these things by themselves, to think that in any way, shape, or form that they are the only ones, or that you might be the only one, or that your wife might be the only one. None of that. We are going through this together. And so I'm hoping that the words that I share help encourage and empower you to say, okay, I have a choice. I have something that I can do. So that's the point. So let me walk you through it. I hope that, sometimes it might be funny. Sometimes you can be like, oh, but it's all good. So I'll start off from before May. A couple of weeks into April, we had our shower, the wedding shower for our son. And that was amazing. It was like over 200 people had RSVP'd. It was, again, it was bananas, but it was so great to see everyone and the love. But if you've ever planned something like that, then it can be a little exciting and taxing and overwhelming and all of that stuff. And so, okay. So that happened and it was great. It was phenomenal. He is so loved. And that's why so many people came. And then, so I'm getting ready for that. But all along the way, I'm getting ready for the TEDx talk, which is like pretty cool, right? I was so encouraged to be asked, or, I had an application to do. And so it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, I was picked. It was like through over 300 applicants. And I was one that was chosen. And I thought to myself, wow, thank you. Thank you that I get a chance to say what it is that I'm the message that is worth sharing. The idea is worth sharing. That's what TEDx is about. And so I was honored and humbled, excited, but I was doing that, and I was preparing for a wedding, and I was also getting ready for the women's conference, the Aligned Women's Conference that we were doing. I'll get to that as well. So all of this is going on at the same time. All right. But here's the most important thing. It was all going on at the same time as perimenopause, right? And so the things that we feel in perimenopause, I was telling my husband, I was like, I feel like I'm going through like round 2, if there was such a thing. My first experiences with perimenopause, I've said this over and over again, it was definitely the hot flashes, which I'm feeling like literally right now. I usually have a fan. I don't have one right now, but the hot flashes or the night sweats, the weight gain, the brain fog, the lack of confidence, all the different things that kind of come with it, had gone through. And it was really one of the things that really sparked me having this podcast, having this subject matter on the podcast. And then I felt like it died down a bit, like I was able to like say, okay, I won't have sugar after a certain amount of time. And that helped with my hot flashes and just different things, going on walks, all that stuff. Absolutely. Those things are important. What I was saying to my husband was that I felt like I was going through round 2 because I felt like it all came back. I had a whole other set of weight gain, right? And brain fog. Oh, it was brainstorm. It wasn't just fog, right? There was a whole lot of stuff that was coming with it as well, on top of needing to plan all of these wonderful and amazing events. And so my confidence in like, oh, can I do this? Can I figure this out? It was just, it was a mess, but some things had to be done. Bringing back to the TED Talk. So we had, I think 10 or 12 weeks of, pretty intense training to get you ready. And my coaches, they were wonderful, wonderful people. And the people that were in my circle, fantastic. And so we're like, all right, we're doing this. And after a certain time, they're like, there's absolutely no script. You just have to say it. So I was like, okay, that's coming. I want to say probably 2 weeks, maybe even more, but at least 2 weeks before the actual TED Talk, I kept forgetting what I was going to say. Like I couldn't, not only did I forget what I was going to say, but I couldn't even pull up the thoughts that I had, the feelings that I had. That brain fog was real. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'm just nervous. Maybe I'm not really sure. But here it is, the day before the TED Talk, and we're practicing, and I've got nothing. And when I say like, I could say the first line as to what I was going to say, and then there was nothing else. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And everyone thought I was nervous. I was like, I wasn't nervous. I had nothing in me. I got a call after the rehearsal and asking me, do you think that you can do this? And I was like, I'm not even sure. Long story short, I did not go through with the TED Talk. And that was disappointing. It was hard, a hard choice to make. But the reality was that I felt like this message of what we are going through, what people need to hear, how people need to receive it, was way too important to not be excellent. And I wasn't even so tripped up about the speech itself, but it was the message that I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't even pull it out. I'm a talker. I could not pull it out. And so I made the decision not to, the day before, less than 12 hours before I was supposed to take that stage, not to do it. And, I appreciate everyone who's checking up on me. Are you okay? Are you okay? I was like, I was okay. And guess what? The world kept spinning. And a lot of times during perimenopause, we can think that if we don't do this, if we don't do it this way, if I can't think this way or da da da, like everything stops, but it doesn't stop. Things kept going. So I went to the TEDx event and it was amazing. It was wonderful. And I cheered on all the other applicants and TEDx talkers that was there. And I felt a part of it. They helped me to feel a part of it. And it was fantastic. And if you haven't been to a TEDx talk, you should go. It was really great being there live. But I guess the lesson that I got from it was that, yeah, there's sometimes that you can't do the things that you have planned to do, but it doesn't define me, right? It doesn't make me any less than I was the day before. And so that message is for you too, that it doesn't make you any less than. This is a period of time and we have to go through it. So that is my lesson for that. On to the next week was the wedding, which was fantastic, wonderful, and amazing. And what I would say about the wedding, besides it being all of that, my phone died. I couldn't take any pictures. I'm like, are you kidding me? I had a battery pack, left the battery pack at the Airbnb, all this stuff. I was like, seriously? So a little disappointed in that, and there was just that not being set up well. But there's a professional photographer. Okay. I got over that, and of course we're missing our boy. He's so great. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So then we go on to the Aligned Woman Conference. For those who didn't make it, oh my gosh, it was better than I thought. I knew it was going to be fantastic. But here's the deal. I had a script, right? And I was a little nervous, like, am I going to trip up the way that I tripped up at TEDx? And so I had a script and I went up and I was like, nope, I'm not doing the script. And not that I wasn't doing the content, I just wasn't doing the script. But guess what? Everything came out the way that it should have come out, the way that I thought it would have come out on TEDx. And so I was super encouraged by that. I was like, I got this message out. I think people, the feedback that we got was the women were encouraged and excited and empowered, but they also felt like, oh, I'm not alone. Because it's really easy to feel like you're alone in this situation, just like I mentioned before, but that wasn't the case. So I was super encouraged by all the women who came out and supported, but also got support. And, many conversations that came after, and I look forward to many, many more. Fantastic. And then last but not least, this past weekend, we had my sister-in-law's wedding, and that was phenomenal. So I had family in town and still family coming into town. But that was such a great weekend. But wow, May has been crazy. And like I said, here is what I feel like the second round of the weight gain, the brain fog, and all of this stuff. And yet life still goes on. And I guess the biggest thing that I want to say is, again, do not try to do this by yourself. There is no reason to. I am so confident that you could look at the next 3 women who are in your age range and just ask them, like, how are you doing? Like, how are you really doing with midlife and perimenopause? You will have an instant community. I guarantee you. And if you don't, DM me because I have a community for you. We are a bunch of incredibly talented, phenomenally fantastic women who have a lot to share and a lot to give. And I don't want you to miss out on it. Somewhat of a random story that I'll tell you because this kind of goes to my brain fog. So again, you sometimes you think that this is just you, but this past weekend we changed our router information, and I'm not all that techie, but I know what a router is. And so our printer is not connecting to the router. So I've looked at the directions. I have, changed the name. I've done everything that I know how to do. And then some. I have gone to Google and chat and da da da. They're giving me directions. I'm looking at videos. Nothing was helping. So brother-in-law comes into town. He's a tech person. And so I was just like, hey, can you just take a look at this for me? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Now, I know I shouldn't be happy about this, right? But he got it online and then it went away. He couldn't figure out like what's going on. Right now, the printer still doesn't work. So why am I smiling about this? Because it wasn't me, right? I was thinking that, oh, it's because of my perimenopause, because of my brain fog that I can't figure this printer out. But it wasn't. It wasn't. And it just goes to show that I'm not different. I'm not different, but sometimes our brain can tell us that we are less than, that we are, missing the boat, that we're failing or falling or some way. But I'm like, if Mr. IT couldn't get it, why would I think that I could? And I was like secretly like, yeah, it doesn't work. It don't work for you either. Right. And so no offense, my brother-in-law, Brian, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. But yes, I had my little happy dance moment when it didn't work. Although I do really want my printer to work. All that to say is we are not broken. We are absolutely becoming. And if you have to say that over and over again, then yes, go ahead and say it. But we are not broken. And that was just a testimony to my not broken self. So I hope somehow that encouraged you in some way. But I really did want to share with you where I'm at, that I am right along with you. I just happen to talk about it probably a lot more than you, but we're feeling it the same way. And if there's any encouragement that I can give you, that's what I want to do. That is what this podcast is for. This is what this community is for. And I want you to hear it, receive it, and walk with it with me. All right. So that's about it. I do want to encourage you that we're going to be doing some more stuff with the Aligned Women. So we had the conference. We're going to do like a Facebook page. We'll do some stuff just to really bring that community in and to bring you in and to have a place to land. All right. So I look forward to sharing some more things with you. You have been amazing. And thank you so much for all of your support. Have an incredible rest of your week. Peace out.